the things we see around, the challenges around, it has a lot of influence on our life, our behavior, thinking, our mindset. And if you're able to create this, and anybody who can figure out how to solve one of Africa's biggest problems using AI will be a billionaire in less than 10 years. And for me, I think it's a lot of opportunity for them too. You cannot avoid this AI. You cannot decide to watch it take over everything. You need to embrace it. You need to.
Welcome to Tynkrait once again. Lovely people. We are back again with the conversation. We challenging thoughts, we shifting minds, and then we are shaping our lives in a small way or a big way. So today in the discussion, we also have an amazing personality joining us in the name of Joshua Opoku Agyemang, who have been in the news and everywhere doing an amazing thing. So without wasting much time, we will dive into the conversation and welcome Mr. Joshua Opoku Agyemang.
Right.
Joshua, welcome to connect.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Have you got any episode?
Oh yes. Yesterday I had my first fufu. It was good.
It was good.
I feel like I'm back home.
Yes, America. That's good. All right. So the first question I'll ask you: who is the personality behind Joshua?
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. My name is Joshua Opoku Agyemang, and I'm happy to be on the show today. My identity is very complicated, as you just asked. However, I'll share a bit about myself. I lead the IoT Network Hub as a president. The IoT Network Hub is an organization founded in 2016, 10 years ago, with a mission to explore emerging technologies such as AI, robotics, Internet of Things, 3D printing, VR, blockchain, and the likes, to solve problems facing the continent. And fast forward 10 years, now AI is everywhere. And you're like, whoa, we knew this day will come. So we're happy that our work had also supported the revolution here in Ghana as well, and on the continent. And we also have StemAide, one of the companies I've co-founded. And the mission for StemAide is to produce STEM learning materials to make STEM education practical. As AI is advancing to becoming super intelligent, there's a need to change the way we teach and the way we learn. And that's why we believe practical hands-on education is the best way for the young generation to be able to survive in the AI revolution. For my company, we produce training, materials, robotics kits, coding kits, AI kits, so the youth of today can have the tools not just to be consumers of AI and technology, but they can build their creators, the builders and developers of these tools that we need for the revolution we are in now. Aside that, I lead a number of initiatives for the Ghana STEM Network, among others. Myself personally, my background is in software engineering. About 15 years ago, I went into software engineering after high school. I built my first company at the age of 19. And I love entrepreneurship, I love tech, and I love money. So it seems to be the path I have taken. So that's a bit about me and the works I've been doing over the past years.
Awesome one. It's a huge roadmap there. All right. But I want to know, like, when you're saying these things out there, people will be like, "Oh, you got it all easy." So it's like you got it easy when people are watching the road. Since you're saying it like loud and clear, people will be thinking it's easy. Did you get it very easy, or you got a chance, or nature favored?
Right. I mean, you could say it's grace or whatever you want to believe in, but then nothing good comes easy. And yes, it's been a lot of challenges, a long way to getting here. Looking at where I started my life from, a village in the Upper region. I was born in Mame, studied in the village, had my BC in the village. moved to Maine for my senior high school, Maine Senior High School. After senior high school, I moved to Sunyane for a few months. After my NOBDEC in Sunyane, I moved to Accra in 2012. Right. So it's been 14 years since I moved to Accra as a high school graduate. Now, between that 14 years has been quite an adventure for me because I decided I wasn't going to go to university. I was going to go straight to tech, straight to entrepreneurship, and build great companies. And that was a very tough challenge looking at where I was coming from. There wasn't enough exposure. Didn't have enough mentorship. So I had to come and figure a lot of things out in Accra. So my first 5 years from 2012 to 2017, it was a lot of challenges trying to figure out my path in life, what's the career path I was going to pursue, what kind of lot of challenges, learn how to build a company, fail several times, learn how to be survive in Accra to build a company, you know. So it's been a lot of challenges. Then when you start to, you realize that you need to learn a lot. You need to learn about almost everything along the line, from marketing, business, finance, technical skills, soft skills, communication skills, because you want to build a company to have money to hire people. You and your partner who had co-founded a business, you have to literally do everything to get the company off from idea stage to a product to a business, and now to even get enough money to get an office space, to build a team, to design more products, to sell more. So it's been quite a very long journey of learning, failing, experimenting, and iterating. But I wouldn't say it's a journey I've regretted. In fact, it's been one of the best decisions I made not to go to university. I'm not saying uni is bad, but I think for me, not going pushed me towards a path where I had to kill myself and learn whatever I have to learn and work so hard to be able to stay competitive in the space. I'm happy today, 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years along the line. Some of the business I've built, in fact, I planned on that journey building a company every year because I want to learn how to build companies. So in 10 years, I built like 10 companies. A lot of them failed, but today the 3 companies running are doing so much well. In fact, they've gone global, gotten recognition from BBC, Forbes, United Nations, among other global platforms, which has been very exciting. Even this week, we had one of our products from Ghana shipped successfully to Czech, Europe, having customers buying our products in Europe, which is very exciting to see how far we've gone. So yes, I think the journey hasn't been easy. However, I wouldn't wish it has been easier. This is the best journey I needed to be able to get to where I am. So yes, I didn't have anything handed to me. I'm not coming from a rich family, not in cash, but we are rich in spirituality. My parents are pastors, so they believe in God, they believe in faith and prayers and all that. So if you want to consider that lucky, then yes, I would like it to be born into a Christian family. But financially, we're not so financially strong. I had to go the hard way to push myself to build businesses here.
Okay, so you seem to have like a very strong mindset when it comes to facing life itself, because you know you're coming from a place where it's down, so you have to push yourself up there. Looking at the community we coming from now, do you suggest people are not giving their best because they have the leverage, or is it because we are not doing the best because we think our time right now we don't have to show that?
Well, it's a lot of work, because to be able to be in Ghana in different communities with the challenges we see around. I mean, today we talked about challenges. It's not just about economic hardship. Even as society, we have a lot of challenges we're dealing with. Water bodies, environment, and all that. And if you find yourself in an environment of such, it's going to be very difficult to see positive things around. It's going to be difficult to see people doing, or successful people. In fact, our society also have divided. The rich people live so far away than to say the poor people. So you don't have a rich person in your neighborhood to even have a taste of how richness look like. So it takes a lot of effort to always rewire your thinking, your mindset. And our environment influences a lot. The things we see around, the challenges around, it has a lot of influence on our life, our behavior, our thinking, our mindset. And if you're able to create this safe space within your internal space, could be in your room, in your house, where even though you have find yourself in an environment of hardship and challenges, you could create that safe space where that help you see a better future. I feel if people can't see a better future, there's no way they'll work towards it. And at times I feel that's why a lot of young people want to japa, because they see a lot of good things on the internet about different parts of the world. They see all the luxury, the flashy life, all the dream life they ever wish for. They can see them. And once they see that, they had a conviction that once they move away, they can make it. It doesn't mean when they move away, life is easy. In fact, some of them have to struggle and hustle, work so harder than they will do in Ghana to be able to survive. But when they go, they are willing to put on the work. So I feel, in a way, environment had a very big influence on how hard we want to work to change it, how hard we work, we get motivated to want to be able to build a better life. For me, I think it was moving away from the village, because with the skills and interests I had with computers and technology, there was no way I could have been able to build a life I want in the village. Mm-hmm. Moving to Accra became an exposure, an environment which I was very new to. And I saw a lot of lives that I feel, no, I think I have to change a lot of my situation at home. And that exposure gave me a lot of inspiration and hope that if I keep pushing hard, keep working hard, I could be able to change a lot of situations at home. So yes, the environment, the exposure had a lot of impacts on our mindsets, and most importantly to our dreams in life. Because if you have aspiration of something you want to accomplish, you can able to create an image of that in your mind. Even though it's not real, you could imagine a better life for yourself, better situation. And by holding that thought in mind, you can every day keep working to achieving that. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's one of the most powerful things for me. Yeah.
That's great. We are getting to the interesting bit. So Mr. Joshua, let's move into like mindset. Once you're working in the technology space, right now, AI is here, and then people don't want to work hard because right now you don't have to think to create. Like think and create. You don't have to think to create, and everything is handed to you. So, for example, when it comes to examination, people want to use AI to write because they can't think for themselves. When it comes to personality, when it comes to life itself, right now it seems like everything is handed to us, so we don't have the ability to create and think. What do you think that we should do at this point?
Well, I think technology have a role to play, but it shouldn't replace our thinking. It should amplify our thinking in the sense that, yes, we depend a lot on technology. I mean, I wouldn't even go too far to AI, but I'll come there. Our smartphone, we have a smartphone in our palm 24/7. The only time we leave it is when we sleep. Even when we sleep, it's closer to our pillow. So that's how dependent we are to our smartphone, because of the habit we build over time with the tools that we use, either for entertainment, for education, for productivity, among other things, that we depend on the smartphone to help us connect with all these tools. The same thing I feel is going to happen with AI too, where AI will not just be on our phone, but very soon it will be everywhere, in our homes, in our cars, in our environments, in our shops, wherever we go, we're going to be interacting with AI. And I think it isn't something we can run away from. But when it comes to the chats tools we use for education and all that, I think it will be very smarter to have all the best professors in the world, the best in all subjects, becoming your mentor, your tutor, that depend on only one lecturer or teacher to teach you. And for me, that's what the AI provides for us. You might not have access to the professors in our country, the likes of Professor Kaufman and the likes that we have and the role models. But through AI, you have a lot of intelligence advisories that can help you learn. So I feel it's a mindset shift we need, that the AI is not necessarily supposed to fix all our thinking challenges, but to help us think faster, think better, and do more with less time. For example, if you are to brainstorm on a problem or a challenge and come up with possible ideas, to do personally without AI, you have to go to Google search, go do a lot of search, read a lot of pages, copy some context, save them. When you finish, you read the summaries of all what you have, try to reframe. It could take you like weeks to just figure out ideas to the particular challenges. Now you take AI today and say, hey, AI, even turn on the search on AI. And say, AI, I have this challenge. Suggest 10 possible solutions that could address this challenge. AI will do that in few seconds. Then you can go ahead and say, for each of them that you have proposed, which are the best one that can be implemented based on budget, based on the demography. All this helps you think faster, not avoid thinking. So I feel the effective use of AI is to help you be smarter, think better, think faster, and be able to create more innovative solutions. Now, what I've seen a lot of people doing most often, as you said, trying to avoid using the AI as a co-pilot, but a dependency tool. So I think it also goes to educational system where if you ask a student to explain, describe, list, why would you want a student to think about that? Go and ask AI to do that. But then if the question challenge students to observe your community environment, engage people, collect feedback, these are things AI can't come out from the app on the phone, go and talk to people, get answers for you. So I also think the way we examine students needs to change, because the old way where all the knowledge were in the book, question comes from the book, you read the book, you answer the question, for me is past. We need to look at how we can challenge students to think critically, to be creative, to solve problems. And by asking challenging questions, it will force them to think and then come up with the possible answers. Today we had a session at KUST where I was working with over 60 teachers across the country through how they can use AI to teach. And it was exciting to see the things AI can do, from creating lesson notes, practical activities in the classrooms, group works, among other things that AI can help to even go deeper. Now, one question I asked the teachers was, how do you teach topic like electricity to students? I mean, have you seen electricity before? Nobody haven't.
Yeah.
You can't see electricity. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. But you're supposed to teach it to a student who barely don't even know what it is. How do you teach that? It's literally impossible. How do you teach photosynthesis to a student? Something that happened to plants. We can't talk to plants. We can't see how it's happening. How do you then teach that? But you see, these are all complex topics that we teach in the classroom. Yeah. And I feel when you bring the concept of AI, then AI can be able to pick these complex topics, break them down, even create animations and videos to help the students be able to imagine and connect exactly with what the subject matters are. Then you talk about osmosis and diffusion. I was like, these things, I never understood them in the classroom, but now, after beginning to learn the practical way, now I understand diffusion is basically you put a spray on your body. Within the few minutes, the concentration is very high. At the close of the day, the small goes down. That's diffusion. Higher concentration, lower concentration. If a teacher told me, have a spray on your body in the classroom, you smell it, yes. After or before we close, you still smell the spray, we say no. And at least you can say, okay, that's diffusion. So the practical nature of teaching, if we don't bring that to the classroom, then we're always going to depend on students to empowering. And the Gen Z, the new generation, the young ones, their brains are not rewind for memorizing, because their generation is content AI generation, 30 seconds, limited attention span. So you don't expect them to read 300 pages of book to pass your exam. It's not going to happen. So we need to change how we teach and learn. And again, I also feel it's a time we also need to understand every generation and how their mind works. And we talk about Gen Z and the rest. Their mind is not wired for the previous generation, reading long books, waiting for a long period. And the generation where things move fast. You want the food, you pick an app, the food will come. In our generation and previous, when you want the food, you go to the kitchen. There you go and cook. So things are changing, and we need to also change how we work with the times that are changing here.
Oh, sure, that's interesting. So coming back from that, all right, so let's say you had a generation where you had to start to think, to build, and to move yourself out there to do a lot of stuff. And right now we have different generation, as you mentioned. So what do you think this generation can go through to be a builder like you, a mindset they had to make sure that they also build something useful like what you're doing? Right?
I think that this generation, for me, they'll be the most fortunate, luckiest, whatever word you want to use, generation ever. Because they're going to be in a world where we have super intelligent system, economies are doubling, businesses are growing to $1 trillion businesses, AI companies within short possible time are in billions of dollars, getting to trillion valuations. Like a lot of things are moving too faster than technology used to move some years back. If you look at an internet age, it took over 50 years for the internet to grow to the apex of which we're experiencing now. Take AI. ChatGPT came in 2022, 2023. It's 3 years now, and Chat is almost $1 trillion company. And then all the AI companies that came after, the Claude and the rest, they are growing too fast and too big. COVID sector came, and now they are big companies. So what I'm seeing is that it's going to take the young generation less time, less resources to build great things, because the technologies we have compared to the previous one. So I feel the challenge would be for them to figure out what are the critical problems we have in our society and how they can leverage on AI to solve them. And anybody who can figure out how to solve one of Africa's biggest problems using AI will be a billionaire in less than 10 years. And for me, I think it's a lot of opportunity for them too. They also have challenges as well. The fact that we're having AI coming up, and very soon we're looking at AGI, which stands for Artificial General Intelligence. This is the time where AI will supersede human intelligence. Mm-hmm. That means their jobs are at risk. They're going to compete with AI. So if they don't work smart, think smart, develop the creative imagination part of their minds, then it's going to be difficult to compete with AI when it comes to muscle. Because a store robot can carry and move around, human will not be able to do. So those works, definitely human beings are not going to be doing them. The thinking work too, AI is doing them. So if you can think deeper, think emotionally, be creative, have emotional intelligence, and that abilities that machines are not able to do now at the moment, then it's going to be difficult competing with a lot of these technologies for job. And there's a likelihood that other countries have started exploring that they will have to be paying everybody for not working.
Yeah. So like you mentioned jobs and all that, all right. So, and you mentioned like intelligence is also coming here, and we see where the fear comes in, where we literally will not go to job, all right. The jobs stage is like fading away and all that. All right. What do you think? All right. From your age, you didn't have that computers to work with, and it was major challenge and blockage to, what you wanted to achieve. And right now, things are moving fast that we can't even wait. And then we are. So looking at those challenges, all right, do you think we stand a chance, all right? And people has this chance, right, when it comes to the job, when it comes to businesses?
Yeah.
Now, do we have?
Yes, I think we do. What is happening is that, yes, AI is coming too fast, getting too intelligent, automating a lot of work. However, there are also new jobs, new professions, new careers that are being created. Now there's something called vibe coding. There's prompt engineers. There's influencers. There's a whole lot of careers coming up. Just like years ago, they have Uber drivers, TikTokers, and all that. And these are now professional jobs, which are not even too much stressful compared to the traditional jobs. So what I think a lot of young people should start thinking about is they shouldn't be so attached to the traditional jobs. The jobs like, oh, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a police, a teacher, and all that. These jobs, I'm not saying they're going to fade away completely, but there's not much demand for those jobs again. There's a lot of demand for jobs in the area of STEM. So science, engineering, mathematics, technology. Most of the jobs are shifting towards that. So we're looking a lot for AI engineers, AI researchers, computer engineers, IoT engineers, robotics engineers, because all the AI revolutions are going to move with these technologies. And all the companies that are building these technologies need these workforces to be able to grow. We also need to look at building industries here in Africa within this area. So we need more AI companies that can build local language apps. So we should be able to use local AI systems that speak Twi, that speak Ewe, that speak Ga, that speak other languages. We need to be able to do that. And for me, that's also the opportunity for young people that now they have the tools, they have the technologies, they have the opportunity to now build local innovation that is missing. And I feel there's a lot that needs to be done in that field. So yes, the job opportunities, the old ones will die, but there are new ones that are coming. And that's where the challenge comes. The new ones require new way of thinking, new mindsets, new way of seeing things, new skills. And most of the times you can't get them from a classroom. Because if you are still doing chewing and pouring, then you can't survive in this new world, right? So that's why there's a need to promote STEM education in the primary schools, the junior high and senior high school. And I'm happy that as a nation, we have adopted some of the practices. We have STEM schools. We are promoting practical learning. In fact, the STEM students are writing engineering practical. So they're going to build projects using Arduino and all that. So I'm excited to see the level where our education system had come, that now we are examining students to build real-life projects as part of their final WAEC exams. So I think we're on the path, but as we said, the speed at which things are moving are too fast, and we need to also be able to move fast enough to catch up. We also have the national AI strategy launched by the president. So I think a lot of things are being put in place. The challenge is, how do we bring this message to the young people that a lot of things has been put in place for them to be able to build faster and catch up with the world faster. And for me, that's where education comes in, the teacher training programs. Because when the teachers embrace AI and encourage the ethical use of it, then students can confidently use AI and it can be accepted in the education space. Yeah.
Sure. That's interesting. One question before we move into the last bit. All right. So looking at the challenges you're facing and then looking at how fast things are moving. All right. So the question is, what kind of mentality and our mindset we need to reset, rewire, or learn certain stuff? All right. So how do we stay motivated to be in this age, try to build something? Like looking at yourself, you need to stay motivated, you need to be focused and all that. So what do you think like this generation we need to do to stay motivated and be relevant in this stage?
Well, I think first we need to be grateful for life.
Okay.
I say life because if you are dead, then there's no hope.
Yeah.
And if you're dead, there's nothing you can do about it. But then once you wake up every morning to be grateful for the life you have, it's enough motivation to move you to the next step. And I feel once you also appreciate the things we have, and outside of life, you should appreciate how far you've come in your life, appreciate the family you have, the friends you have. That also is another layer of motivation that would bring you to the next step. The next step of also believing in abundance.
Okay.
Because I say abundance because we're living in a world where people still think, oh, there's no money, no opportunity, no dots. And then when you fall into that scarcity mindset, it's not working for you. Because if you start believing there's no job, there's no opportunities, there's no money, the economy is hard, this has all the negative things, then they begin to drive you down. But once you also start thinking about abundance of opportunities, thinking more positively every day, it's helped you stay more motivated. I also think that we need to figure out our mission. Okay? Because it's always important to ask yourself, why are you as individual? Why are you here on this planet? It's a very critical question that most of the times we don't get to ask till we die, or probably at the point of death. Then you start asking yourself, oh, look, I did the master some every day, right? We wait till it's too late before we start asking that. I think at a very young age, if you can start figure out why you believe and think you are here on this planet, it can also go a long way to inspire your journey, because once you're convinced about your reason and purpose for being here, that gives you hope every day to wake up towards that calling, towards that mission. For me, it has always been to inspire people, motivate people, solve problems, create opportunities for young people, and build a better continent. So all the lines of work, activities I do, initiatives, project, programs, it all aligns with that mission of empowering the young people to develop their potentials. And I started with myself, because if I have not gone to university and I've been able to develop myself and potentials, and I'm building innovations, product solutions, and I'm helping the nation in all possible ways I can. And it means that I'm in line with my calling. The things that I believe I was here to do is exactly what I'm doing. And even without university degree, I'm still able to do that. In fact, I work with a number of universities in the country and outside the country as well to engage with students, provide mentorship training to teachers, among other things. So I believe we all have potentials, very, very great potentials. And this might not have anything to do with going to school, but it had a lot to do with education. There are two things. There's a difference between going to school and getting educated. I personally don't like school. I like education. And for me, education is when you have come to the point that everything you're learning, you understand what you're learning, you can apply to solve problems, and you're not learning to pass as examination to get qualification, but you're learning because you need the knowledge, you need the skills to be able to apply to the problems and challenges around, to be able to help you think, to be able to help solve problems. Then it puts you beyond just going to school. Because that's what we have in now. A lot of people who have gone to school but can't solve challenges and problems we have in our community. So that's also a challenge, because humans, we are supposed to grow. We are supposed to build. We're supposed to create. We are creators. Just like God said in the Bible that human has been created in the likeness of God. And if God can create, God can do great things. We should be able to do that. And that potential cannot necessarily come from the classroom. It comes through education. Education can happen through life challenges, the adversity you go through, the trials you face, the challenges you overcome. All these are ways to learn, not necessarily the classroom setting. So I appreciate the thinking and mindset of being always a student, always learning from life, learning from people, learning from wherever you find yourself. And that keeps you growing every single day. So summing up, I think we need to figure out why we're here on Earth. And once we figure out, it's tied to the kind of career or path you want to take, the kind of skills and knowledge you want to acquire, programs to studies, all that feed into that. And it can also stem from the area of passion. You know, we are naturally passionate about something. When we grow up, when we were young, we were passionate about a lot of things. But when we grow up, life challenges and Other things set in that you forget about your passion. And you start chasing money. And when you don't get money, then it feels like life is over. So I feel we need to rethink about our life while we're here, the things that potentials we have, the abilities God has given us, and how we can harness these potentials, these abilities to serve others, to help our society, to build a better nation, a better continent. And collectively, we all will be great.
Interesting. I hope we are unpacking a lot of knowledge over here, that we all are students of life, and then we are learning great things. All right. So Joshua, ending this, what do you think will be your advice for us before we dive in, that you could recommend your 2 books that has helped you in your journey? So you look into the camera, educate people who are also going on that path or the journey to discover a world that will also change humanity or
Right. Sure. So I think life is full of challenges. Every human being goes through them. Those who have ever lived on this earth and those who are yet to live will always go through challenges. The rich, the poor, everybody goes through. The white, the black, irrespective of who you are. As long as you're on this earth, you're always going to go through a lot of challenges. And for me, I feel they are necessary because it's through these challenges that we build our character, we build resilience, we build our human. That's how we grow. Without the challenges, we can grow. And the more we go through the challenges, the stronger we become, or our spirits are strengthened, our minds are strong, and we're able to overcome difficult challenges even ahead, take off challenges, be able to be creative and innovative in living our life. So I think 1, we need to embrace challenges because that's the only way we can grow. 2, we need to think about abundance. Because the moment you start thinking about a lot of opportunities, the abundance of life, abundance of resources, abundance of favors, whatever it is that you need, once you start thinking about abundance, things begin to start falling in line with you. There's a saying that the universe is always conspiring to helping you. It's up to you to figure out what you want the universe to help you with. Or you could say, God is waiting for you to speak. Just ask what you want and God will be answering to you. And it starts with your mindset of thinking about abundance. I also want to talk on the fact that we are living in a world of advanced technologies. You cannot avoid this AI. You cannot decide to watch it take over everything. You need to embrace it. You need to learn about it. You have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Claude, DeepSeek, and all the rest. They're all free tools. Use them to build yourself. Use them to acquire skills. Use them to solve problems. Because in the world we live in today, those who know how to use AI tools very well would replace those who don't use AI tools. So it's not the AI taking the job. It's the people who use the AI tools very well. They'll be so good enough that a boss can use one staff with AI tools to do the job of 10 employees who don't want to use AI tools. So taking advantage of these AI tools, for me, it's a very good opportunity. And I just want to share this. There's free courses on the 1 million coding projects by the ministry. It's free Google professional AI programs. It's free and it's online for 10 hours. You can visit the 1 million coder program, sign up, register for the AI programs, take the course for free, get your professional certificates, and that can help you position you for AI jobs and opportunities. Thirdly, I also want to say that, we had independence in 1957, and the fight for independence at the time was for freedom, sovereignty, self-governance, and through that, a lot of our foundational infrastructure as a nation, Ghana, was built. We talk about Kosovo Dam powering our electricity today. It was a project from that. To talk about our educational system, Kwame Nkrumah University was a true representative of an institution that was established to produce the sort of technology we needed. Now we have a new freedom to fight for, and that's AI. If we don't fight for technology sovereignty, data sovereignty, in the AI revolution, we are going to be miserable. Just like the fight for the colonization for self-governance. So I want to encourage young people that this is your era to embrace all the technologies, build technologies for our nation. Don't just consume them. We need to build our local technologies, build our driverless cars, build our chat apps, build our smart homes, smart cities. Anything technology, it had to be made in Ghana, and for Africa. And until we build that, our generation are going to struggle again with dependency on all the technologies that we imported. We don't want to see robots coming to farm, all imported to take away our farmers' job, providing food for us. Robot taking our jobs from factories, robot taking our jobs from hospitals, from classrooms, or anywhere you can imagine. They are building robots for that. We need to build our own robots to do most of this work so we don't export all our work to robots imported into a country. And finally, I think that the future is very exciting for everyone because the technologies coming up are going to help us live more than 200 years. Yes, there are technologies that are going to help us buy extra age or time to our age. There are technologies that are going to help us address some of the critical challenges when it comes to illness, like gene editing our genes to remove illness, like cure cancer, sickle cell, some other things. So the future looks very exciting. It's all space tourism. And very soon we'll be able to go to space, have your honeymoon in space, some other things. So a lot of exciting things that are coming for our generation. And I think every young person should embrace technology and try to read a lot about the technologies of the future, because that's what our world is going to be in some few years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to be here
I think the conversation will continue again.
Definitely.
So your two books.
Well, I think for me, last year I had a challenge to read 50 books, and I did that. So I read 50 books last year. I built a whole library for myself, over 1,000 books in my library. My two books I recommend for everyone. I think the first one will be Who Moved My Cheese. The very simple book, but very powerful. I liked it because it talks about evolution, it talks about adaptability, it talks about change. We're talking about mindsets. And the book, there were characters that they saw change, like AI is coming, and they said, oh, we don't care about this change. Before they realized, they were forced to adapt to change. Those who embraced the change, they took advantage of it, and then they won. So I feel in the world we live in now, things are going to be changing really fast, and having that mindset of always looking out for the change, whatness, is going to help young people to survive in the world today. Second book will be The Alchemist. Yeah, it's going to be The Alchemist because it talks a lot about finding your purpose in life. You know, what are your dreams? What are your visions for your life, for your family, for yourself? You know, once you have that clear purpose of what you want to do, it sets you paths on the life that you don't have to be like a rubber bag. The air blows to the left and right, but you know how exactly you want to go. You understand why you have to get there. Then you put all your efforts in building your life towards that. So for me, these two books are very, very significant when it comes to mindsets, change, and then the vision for the future. Thank you, Storm.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the episode. And watch out for the channel. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and share. And then we will continue with another episode. We'll give you exciting, educative content and make sure that we improve your mind to also improve the community that you find yourself in. So thank you, and we'll catch up next time. Goodbye.
Subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and then hit the notification bell to get notifications from us.